afternoon, sir.
Please come in.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Shailputri
Yes, sir.
is from Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. Her option was philosophy, and she has done her BA Honours in Philosophy from Miranda House, University of Delhi. Her hobbies: writing Hindi poetry and short stories.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shailputri, tell me something about self-help groups. How they're formed, what are they asked to do, what is the capacity building done for them?
Sir, self-help groups are informal groups of women mostly, and they are formed to enable the group to have some income-generating activity, and in turn, it will empower those women. In National Rural Livelihood Mission, self-help groups are formed, and the purpose behind them is to provide empowerment and independence to women.
Can you guess the number of women who are members of self-help groups in our country? And how many self-help groups are women self-help are in?
Sir, in my little knowledge, I think there are more than 8 crore women who are members of the self-help groups.
Yes, right.
And sorry, I'm not able to recall the number of self-help groups.
90 lakhs.
90 lakhs. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Now, recently there were figures to show that the female labor force participation rate has risen to 37%
Yes, sir.
from a low of perhaps around 20%.
Yes.
And in the rural areas, the rise is even more. Now,
Yes.
what do you understand by female labor participation rate?
Sir, female labor force participation rate shows the number of women who are part of working population. Means the women who are employed in some income generating activity.
Only those who are employed.
Or those who are employed, or those women, including those women who do some of their own work, self-employed women.
No, even those who are looking for work.
Looking for work, yes, sir. Also those who are looking for work.
What does these figures show?
Sir, these figures show that women empowerment in our country, that more and more women are employed and also are looking for job opportunities in the market. It also shows that the country is moving forward in terms of women empowerment.
Okay. Can you tell me what programs have helped in increasing the participation rate?
So there are a number of programs. First is to change the mindset of the society so that more women can come forward. For example, the Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao program. The other is a self-help group program under National Rural Livelihood Mission. And the other is, sir, Women Entrepreneurship Platform by Niti Aayog. And, sir, more and more women are also working under MG Narega program. The recent figures have shown that. And, sir, these programs come to my mind.
You are absolutely correct. As far as the SHGs are concerned,
yes, sir.
A lot of women are getting access to credit.
Yes, sir.
That is also helping.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me something more about the programs for women empowerment which the government is running.
So, for women empowerment, we have to think from various perspectives. For example, to provide education, healthcare, job opportunities, and safety to women. So, for healthcare, there are more programs like Poshan Abhiyan, ICDS scheme, midday meal scheme. For women's safety, there is one-stop center scheme, 181 helpline for women's safety. And so, for employment, there is self-help group program. There is women entrepreneurship platform. And also, we are increasing the participation of women in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And for their education, there is Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, Nipun Bharat program, and also the Kasturba Gandhi Vidyalaya, especially for girl child. That comes to my mind, sir.
Okay. Now, have you read something about the interim budget?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How is the finance minister going to raise capital expenditure and at the same time lower the fiscal deficit?
Yes, sir. Sir, the means to raise more resources comes from two sources. One is disinvestment, and the other is tax generation. So we have seen that the tax buoyancy has increased, and more people are coming into the tax bracket. GST is also given this impact. And sir, for reducing expenditure, we are reducing subsidies. And for this, to reduce it, we are doing better targeting by JAM Trinity and Aadhaar authentication, sir.
I think the reduction in subsidy is not because of any design. The actual expenses have fallen as against the what was contemplated.
Okay, sir.
Okay, but you are absolutely right. Now there has been a lot of talk that the budget is a budget for fiscal consolidation.
Yes, sir.
Why is it being said like that?
So fiscal consolidation is important for the overall health of the economy. We are looking for debt sustainability, and therefore we are trying to reduce fiscal deficit.
Okay. The debt GDP ratio
Yes, sir.
has risen. What is the figure?
So it is close to 80 or 83%.
Is that a cause of concern?
Sir, according to the expert opinion, the problem is not that the debt or the fiscal deficit. The quality of expenditure matters. In the long term, we should target growth, because along with growth, the debt sustainability comes, as the economic survey also argued.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Shailputri.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the meaning of the name?
Ma'am, it is one of the forms of Ma Durga. It is the first form which is worshipped in Navratri.
And what does this form signify?
Ma'am, it is the first stage in the development of Ma Durga. So it signifies the childhood of Goddess Durga.
Okay. So you are from Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, ma'am.
Shailputri, you tell me, earlier UP was known for crime
Yes, ma'am.
and lot of bad things. But now UP is known for?
Now UP is known for being the best destination for investment and a major growing economy in the country. And it has also improved in metrics in terms of women empowerment and women's safety.
Okay. And the means adopted by the government are?
Ma'am, government has dedicated personnel, women personnel as well as other police personnel for women's safety. There are more prompt filing of FIRs, and also the conviction rate in terms of in women related crimes has also increased. It is the highest in all the states in India.
Okay. Encounters have also increased?
Ma'am, yes. According to the data, the encounters have also increased.
Is there any relation?
Ma'am, encounters are there because the mafia culture was prevalent in UP, and so that is the reason why the encounters have increased.
Okay. So your optional is philosophy.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, what is the philosophy of Shailputri?
My philosophy aligns closely with the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. That is duty for the duty's sake. And I personally don't like to think more about the result, but rather than doing my work and doing my part.
Is it difficult or is it easy?
Ma'am, earlier it used to be difficult, but with practice, I think it has become a part of my life.
Okay, this means that if the result is negative or positive, you will not be bothered?
Ma'am, no, I will not be bothered, but I will definitely try to improve if I lack something.
Okay. Why is there such a visible lack of women philosophers in philosophy?
Ma'am, one reason that comes to my mind is that in the previous times, women women lack access to education. So that is the one reason that we had less number of women philosophers in India as well as the West.
Can you name some?
Ma'am, in India, I can remember in Vedic era there were Gargi and Apala, and in Western era we remember Mary Wollstonecraft, Simone de Beauvoir. Those women comes to my mind.
Do you know the name of any contemporary philosopher?
Ma'am, Divya Dwivedi is one philosopher from India, and from West, Slavoj Zizek, a communist philosopher, comes to my mind.
Okay.
He is very popular as well.
Very popular.
Yeah.
But do you think that there has been a problem that atom or anu, which has been taught by Vaisheshik philosophy, but still our school curriculum teaches us that atom was discovered by John Dalton? Where is the problem?
Sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, the problem lies in the different orientation of the Western school of thought which we study in physics and the Indian school of thought. The Vaisheshika school of thought is more oriented towards liberation and understanding the meaning of life and our purpose in life. Whereas the studies in West aims to understand it in terms of science and to achieve something out of it in terms of practical usages. So, I think in my opinion, we should study both the schools and their respective orientations.
Okay. You have also done LLB.
Yes, ma'am.
What is vicarious liability?
Ma'am, vicarious liability is liability of one for the act of someone other.
Example?
Ma'am.
So, can the father be convicted if the minor child does some act or some crime?
No, ma'am. The vicarious liability is not applicable here. It is one example that comes to mind is the master-servant relationship, where the servant and the master are liable for each other's acts. So I'm sorry, I'm not able to recall correctly, ma'am.
So the owner can be held liable for any omission or commission done by the servant.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. My last question to you. Tell me 3 qualities that an officer should have.
Ma'am, first quality is leadership. The officer should have some leadership skills because it is a job to lead the people towards the government policies and towards empowerment. And the second quality would be quick decision making, because at times we cannot have a lot of time and we should have those abilities. And third would be courage to take hard and bold decisions.
Very correct.
Shailputri, you don't want to work in foreign service, huh?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, because I want to stay in India. That is the only reason.
You were talking of Gita, duty for the sake of duty, and now you are saying you only want to be in India?
Sir, actually, it was just a preference which was asked, and there is no other reason. I would love to do any duty that is assigned to me. So, in terms of preference, I want to stay in India.
Okay. Do you know about job profiles of these jobs? Have you marked 1, 2, 3 choices? Are you aware?
Yeah, sir, I'm aware of some of the job profiles, not all.
Who is the district magistrate of Meerut?
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not able to recall.
No worries. Police service is the second choice.
Yes, sir.
You have SSP or Commissionerate System of Policing?
Sir, in Meerut it is SSP.
SSP.
Yes.
Okay, who is the SSP?
Sir, if I'm recalling correctly, it is Rohit Singh Sajwan.
Currently also? He still is there?
Sir, I'm not sure of it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Fine. Civil services and political pressure. Okay, there is always a discussion about it.
Yes, sir.
So, if you are posted as a superintendent of police, okay,
Yes, sir.
then how do you plan to deal with political pressure?
So, in my opinion, the foremost duty of a civil servant is towards the Constitution and the people of India. So, and the officers should have a thick skin in terms of dealing with political influence and political pressures. So, only those orders which are lawful and constitutional should be followed by the officers and not the other orders.
So do you think practically it is possible in the civil services currently also? Lot of political interference is there, people say?
So the relationship between executive and political leaders is very close, but the civil servants has always maintained their neutrality, which is the foundational value of civil services. So in my opinion, the officers have been able to resist the pulse and pressure of political influence since independence.
Our honorable member talked about encounters, and you
Yes.
said this, they have increased.
Yes.
So do you favor encounters?
Sir, encounters which are legal, where there is a proper reason for encounter, I favor those encounters, but the extrajudicial encounters, I do not favor those.
So in UP, what type of encounters have been there? A vehicle just going turtle everywhere. Do you think they were all legal?
Sir, the investigations have revealed that those encounters were lawful because the conditions were so that there was a threat to the life of police officers. So for that, they had to.
They had to go for it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me something about policing in India.
Yes.
What do you know about policing in India?
So policing, the main purpose of policing is to provide a sense of safety to the life and liberty and property of people. Sir, perception of policing is not so good in India, but it is improving, and the new mantra for police is a smart policing, which is very technologically savvy, accessible to public, and also very lawful. Sir, the problems in policing in India are that the number one is perception, and also the number of policemen's ratio to the population is quite poor in India, and therefore the police is overstressed and overburdened. So in that direction, we need certain reforms.
What you will be doing if you are a civil servant for the overstressed police personnel?
Sir, the police should be trained in terms of mental health also. There are some jurisdictions which are providing mental health training and gender sensitivity to policemen. Also, in terms of new criminal laws, the procedure for investigation have greatly improved. For example, the mandatory videography of search and seizure procedures. And so, some of the recommendations are...
Whether that has this new law, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, has been notified?
No, sir, it has not been. It has not yet notified. It is a direction for reform.
Which laws are actually being changed with the coming of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita?
Sir, with Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Indian Penal Code 1860 has been changed.
And
sir, with Bharatiya Sakshi Samhita, Indian Evidence Act 1872 has been changed. And with Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, the Criminal Procedure Code has been changed.
Criminal. So the pendency will now come down, do you think?
So, pardon, sir,
The pendency in the courts, which has been there with the changes in the laws, that will it come down?
Sir, for reducing pendency, we need to have more judges in the judiciary, and we need to improve the infrastructure of courts. Sir, practices like taking adjournments also need to be taken care of.
Fine, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Shailputri.
Yes.
Do you see any relationship between philosophy and law?
Yes, sir.
Can you cite some example?
Yes, sir. So, philosophy provides solid foundation to legal jurisprudence. For example, the philosophers like John Austin and John Rawls as well, they have provided the theories on the basis of which law should be enacted.
Should be.
Yes, sir. In some jurisdictions, the directions are also followed.
Okay. So, as you have read philosophy and law,
Yes.
can you define difference between rich people, poor people, and prosperous people?
Sir, can I take a moment?
As a student of philosophy and law,
Yes, sir.
can you differentiate between rich people, poor people and prosperous people?
Sir, rich people are those who have more money beyond their needs. Poor people are those who cannot afford the basic needs of their life. And the prosperous people are those who are in between, those who have means to fulfill their basic needs as well as to achieve some other goods and services.
Good. Have you read any short stories of Manto?
Yes, sir.
Which are?
Sir, one that comes to my mind is Kali Salwar.
Okay.
And there are others. Sorry, I read them a long back.
There is a movie on this story, no?
Yes, sir. There's a movie on...
Who are actors in that?
Sir, on Manto?
On Kali Salwar. Who are actors in that movie?
Sir, I'm sorry. I have not watched that movie.
Right, in the hobby, no? You have written any short stories?
Yes, sir.
Can you cite some titles, your stories?
Sir, the one story that I wrote is Nabbe and Banarasi. It is about two brothers, and wherein the one brother is mentally challenged and the other is taking care of his brother.
Did your schooling or college education makes you independent thinker and less critical decision makers? Can you cite some example where you have taken some independent decisions in your life?
Yes, sir. My education has trained me to take my decisions independently. One decision was to prepare for the civil service exam. The other was to help a girl in need, which I saw on the road. So she was indigent, and so I was not employed and I was not earning. So with my father's help, I helped that girl.
How can you differentiate between rational thinking and critical thinking? Rational thinking and critical thinking. What is the difference between these two?
So rational thinking is thinking about something in a logical manner. But critical thinking is also pointing out the difficulties, problems and issues in the topic.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Can you name some of your favorite poets? Because you have one of the hobbies writing Hindi poetry. So
Yes.
you must have read a lot about poems.
So some of the poets who are my favorite are Baba Nagarjun and Anamika.
Okay. You have studied in Kendriya Vidyalaya.
Yes, sir.
Can you cite the motto and symbol of Kendriya Vidyalaya?
Sir, sorry. I'm sorry.
Rising Sun.
Yes, sir. Rising Sun. Yeah.
Okay. You were a student of philosophy and you are also writing exam with the same optional subject.
Yes, sir.
Can you cite some common themes of 6 orthodox schools of Indian philosophies? Common themes among them.
So one theme that is common among all of them is liberation.
Moksha.
Moksha.
Ji.
Yes, sir. The other is suffering. All of them talk about suffering and also the ignorance of human beings, which is the cause of suffering. The third is other is liberation, and
They all have belief in Vedas.
pardon, sir.
They all have some kind of beliefs in Vedas.
Sir, no, not all of them believe in Vedas. For example, the Sankhya philosophy doesn't believe in Vedas.
Okay. Some of the common themes which you cited, they are more sounding like Buddhism, the theme of Buddhism or four noble truths of Buddha. So there is some link between the thought of Buddhas and these philosophies? If so, then why they are so different?
Sir, one link that comes to my mind is among the philosophy of Buddhism and Advait Vedant. Particularly the Mahayana and the Madhyamaka Buddhism and Advait Vedant, both of them talk about sufferings, ignorance and liberation. I think the reason behind both of these people having the similar thought is because these are some of the very common problems of our life. So those philosophers have pondered over them, and that is why they came to these conclusions.
Common problems of our life. We all want moksha.
Sir, the common problems of our life is suffering, and that is why to eliminate those sufferings, the liberation is essential.
Okay. Can you differentiate between ethical laws and unethical laws?
Yes, sir. Sir, unethical laws are those which are not made on the foundations of ethics and morality, whereas ethical laws are those which are based on the solid foundations of equality and justice. For example, unethical law was slavery laws in in US. And the ethical laws are, for example, Right to Education Act or the Fundamental Rights provided in the Constitution.
Apartheid is also one of the example of unethical laws. Racial segregation in South Africa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You mentioned about some of the things which can be done in policing. Do you know anything about the 7 directives of Supreme Court regarding police reforms?
Yes, sir.
Can you cite the case and the development after that?
Yes, sir. So the case was Prakash Singh case in 2006, and sir, recently also the Home Ministry has directed all the states to fulfill the post of DGP. That development comes to my mind.
Recently, they were guided to fill the post of DGP.
So not to have a temporary DGP in the sense that a police officer of a DG rank is given the charge of DGP in 6 to 7 states in India currently.
Okay. What was the reason that you have chosen to go for law after the philosophy, not a PG in the philosophy?
Sir, because my father happens to be a lawyer, and also because I used to talk to him a lot, I developed interest in law. So therefore, I went for it.
Then why you have not chosen law as one of your optional subject in the recent exam attempt?
Sir, because I was more comfortable in philosophy, and the decision to do civil services was made while I was pursuing my philosophy as well.
Okay. So, how serious you are about the civil services?
Sir, I'm very serious.
Why is the gap in your various attempts?
So the gap is because while I was pursuing my law, I was totally dedicated towards it. So during those time, I did not give the attempts.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
We'll call you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir.
Come in. Okay, you are very good.
Thank you, sir.
Take your seat. You have so much time also. 9th April is
Yes, sir.
When did the notice for this, for
So
your interview come?
So it was day before yesterday.
Day before. So the third phase they have issued notice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You just have to revise everything. You know the areas they ask from: current affairs, India's foreign policy, foreign relations,
Yes,
your
sir.
DAF. These are the areas they have: Indian economy, your option, your subjects you have studied. Revise everything as many times as possible,
Yes, sir.
so that while replying you don't have to think at all.
Yes, sir.
That situation comes at times.
Yes, sir.
When you are very well prepared, you need not think while replying.
Yes, sir.
You will realize this if you revise several times. And I'm sure you will get through.
Thank you, sir.
So, Shail, when you came in, you did not ask for permission and sat.
Yeah.
You wait.
Okay, ma'am.
है ना?
Sure.
Let the panel let you say, sit down. Then you sit down. Hand position rather than this. Can we do this?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
It's better.
Yes, ma'am.
Apart from that, you have used the word yeah few times. Yeah. Sir के साथ भी और chairman sir के साथ भी.
I'm
है
sorry.
ना? Avoid that.
Yes.
है ना?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
है ना? So you can say yes, but not yeah. Do you
Yeah,
normal
ma'am.
language slang is
Yes,
this,
ma'am. I
but
understand
informal.
it. I'm extremely sorry.
Informal. Apart from that, you are very well prepared. You are giving good answers, confident, and we find a bold officer in you.
Thank you, ma'am.
In that sense, very good. You can articulate your answers well. You have command over your content. So wish you all the best and
Thank
see you in the list.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.